Well, homeboys, we got some amazing news today, okay? They finally fixed the Druid. Hallelujah. Yeah, it happened. I cannot believe it. But after destroying the Druid for 2 phases, we are finally the class we're supposed to be. I don't know how it took this long to reason with Agrent, but yeah, as you can see, I'm a Leo. Yeah. Okay, so what's the changes? Skull Bash moved to the hand slot. Nobody wants it. Shut up, Skull Bash. Throw yourself in a ditch or something. Go away, Skull Bash. No, nobody likes you. Okay, here. Lacerate. It got moved to the leg slot. It was the hand slot. Let's go to the talent. So this is a nice innocent little druid. Okay. Before the changes, if I wanted to take Lacerate, I couldn't take Mango. Why? Because Blizzard hates druids. We are always the second class citizen in the world. They hate us, okay? They are really mean people. So Mangle is supposed to buff your Lacerate, and Lacerate is supposed to be filled in between Mangles. But as you know, in all their freaking wisdom, they made it so we couldn't get both, because you're supposed to have both. So of course you cannot get both, because Blizzard. But now we can, okay? So I cannot show you the thing here, but we're gonna take Lacerate in the legs. We're gonna be taking, of course, Mangle on the hands now. Chest, runes here, everything like that is gonna be about the same. You are gonna need survival of the fittest for the raid. In Sunken Temple, bro, you're gonna get destroyed. Thank God we got shamans now. They can handle the Wind Fury for us. So for the other rules, we're gonna be taking Improved Frenzy Regeneration, because there's really nothing that a bear can benefit here from. It doesn't really matter. We are also gonna be taking here, okay, if you wanna go for full threat, if you're in a fight where you don't need to be tanky, you can take Gore, but you can also take Improved Bark Skin to be tankier, because you can just put it on yourself when you're shapeshifted. So this is a really nice tanking cooldown now. Of course, it's all gonna matter in your gear. You may have to go for Gore if you don't have a lot of gear, but once you got like decent threat, it depends on your raid, it doesn't really matter, okay? If you're in a tryhard guild, you wanna go for Gore because everybody's pumping. If you're in a normal guild, you wanna go for Bark Skin because you can be tanky and make it easier for your healers. For the belt, we're gonna be taking Berserk because this thing now works as intended. So when you pop it, your Lacerate is gonna cause no rage, your Mangle is gonna have no cooldown, it's gonna hit 3 targets. You're now going to be able to pump some outrageous threat for a minute every 3 minutes. Then it sucks. But the good thing is, unlike Nomeregan, the bosses don't have 20 freaking phases anymore. So if you got a good threat ahead when you pop it at the start, you are gonna keep it. There are exceptions. There is a swap in Morphas that you cannot do it. There is the Atalai Wardens. But for the most part, Berserk is a much more useful rune in this tier than in the previous tier. And for the feat, we're gonna be taking Survival Instincts because that's the only bear one we can take. It's nice, I guess. Every time you dodge, you get rage. It's not awful. In AoE, it makes it a lot better, but it's not great either. Now for the talent build, guys, I know you're tempted to go something else, but we gotta go for Leader of the Pack, okay? That's too much to give up right now. We're gonna take Ferocity to get cheaper molds and swipes and whatnot, of course. We're gonna be taking here the Threat modifier from Feral Instinct. That is like Defiance for the Warrior, it's the same thing. We're gonna take Sharpened Claws for more crit. We're gonna take Improved Demoralizing Roar here, because it's really nice utility for the raid. We're gonna take 2 points of that. We're gonna take here Primal Fury, that's for the bear. We're gonna get 5 rage every time we crit. Bears have rage issues, even though they get hit really hard in this raid, they still have some rage issues. It's not like the warrior where you got infinite threat rage the whole time because you get hit so hard. The bear works a little different. Then we're gonna be taking here Predatory Strikes, because at level 50 this is a really nice 75 attack power, that's pretty decent. We are also going to take Fairy Fire Feral, and the reason we are taking Fairy Fire Feral is so we can have some threat when we do not have any rage. This thing in Feral form, in bear form, it does a decent amount of threat. So you can, when you don't have any race, you might as well, you gotta put this debuff anyway, you might as well fill in with this guy when you can. We're also gonna take Savage Fury for 20% more damage on Maul and Swipe, that is a no-brainer. We gotta take 2 more points here, I would say. I would like to take here Feral Aggression so we can have a really strong Demo Shout. Of course, Demo Shout is super important because it's not a very intuitive thing, but a Demoralizing Shout, Demoralizing Roar, it reduces the damage of a boss a lot more than you would assume. So having a better one is a lot of value. We're also gonna take Heart of the Wild here for the stamina, because the damage in Sunken Temple is bonkers, so we want as much stamina as we can get. And here, Leader of the Pack. We can make all party members 3% crit. This is the Boomkin equivalent, okay? 3% crit for the melees, especially with how warriors are doing right now. Everybody is gonna want you in the raid if that's the case, okay? If you wanna be a popular guy, become a feral druid right now, guys. Either one, cat or bear, it doesn't matter. So as you can see, that means we are not gonna be able to take Omen of Clarity. I think you definitely can, but I think first of all, threat is not really an issue. It's not gonna be an issue anymore with this. The bear was doing okay before this, and now the bear is gonna be insane. So I would say just take Nature's Grasp and take this one for 10% more damage, and you can be done with it. I mean, you can get in Mark of the Wild, you can get Furor. I would just take the 10% more damage, like screw it. And that's pretty much the build I am gonna be going, okay? I am gonna dust off the Druid. The Druid is coming back. Your stat priority is gonna remain about the same, okay? The first thing you're gonna get is some hit, not a bunch of hit, but just get some hit so you can get decent threat. I would say if you are on the 4 to 6% mark, you're probably doing it right. Then you wanna get agility. Agility gives you crit, which is rage. Rage generation is the most important part for you right now because most of your threat doesn't come from your damage quite like a warrior would do. Your threat comes from the flat values you get. Maul, Swipe, Lacerate, all those abilities, they do a really high amount of threat. They got threat bonuses on them. So the more rage, the more threat, way more than just more flat damage. Also, agility gives you armor, which you scale a lot because you got armor modifiers in bear form. It gives you dodge. Dodge is your only mitigation for avoidance that you can get, so of course you want to get some of that. Then we are going to be taking, depending if you want to prioritize threat or tankiness, you're going to be taking either strength and attack power or stamina. Mangle scales very well, Lacerate scales very well, and Swipe scales very well. Even though Swipe is not going to be anymore your single target ability, it used to be that way because 10% attack power scaling when nothing in your kit scaled, it was pretty decent, I guess, but now we don't need that anymore, okay? And I would say below that you can put crit on it. Also, another pro tip is that if you can get any armor kits, very important, put armor kits on all your clothes, but if you can get any additional armor, like if you see one of those items that got a green number with armor on it, that is probably best in slot for you because your armor multiplies by 8. You are going to have to tank the crushing blows. You have no way of mitigating crushing blows, so you are going to need to have a lot of armor. So what is your rotation going to be like on this build? Let's take a look at that. First of all, we're going to do a Mangle. We're going to open with Mangle. That is going to be our best snap threat ability. After that, we're going to be stacking your Lacerates up. We're going to do 5 Lacerates. Then we are going to apply Fairy Fire if it isn't on the boss yet. And then we're going to pop Berserk. And we're going to spam Mangle unless we got to refresh a Lacerate. Of course, you want to pop your Crowd Pommeler when you got Berserk on you because you're going to spend through a lot of rage. So you can use your Crowd Pommeler enchant ability to get that back. The Catnip is going to be our best ally here. Of course, in AoE, you're going to have to spam Demoralizing Shout or Swipe, depending on the amount of targets. You're not going to be a good AoE tank with this. The changes, I mean, it's great. You're probably going to be a really, really strong 3-mob tank. Like, if you gotta tank 3 mobs or less, you're probably going to do, like, very high threat on that. But true AoE, you still suck. Kinda more or less AoE, like 6 mobs, you still suck. Not much you can do about that. I'm happy for this change. And as you guys know, Survival of the Fittest is an outrageously strong talent anyway, so you're gonna be very tanky too. So overall, if you get your Catnips from the incursions, if you get your Lion enchant, and you get a bunch of armor on you, I think you're gonna be like one of the best tanks in Sunken Temple right now, guys. And I couldn't be happier. I am leveling my Druid right now. We're gonna see it very soon. Druid is back, baby! Subscribe, leave a like, join the Discord, and thank you for watching!